Question number 4. The city paid for a traffic study in 2012 and did not engage in any of the findings of that study. One-way streets, synchronization of traffic lights. What was the purpose of that expenditure if there was no resulting outcome, and how would you address that as mayor?
Well, to the first question, you got me. Why would you do a study that would give you some very clear ways? And by the way, if you read the study, it is on the city website. There's some very simple ways in which traffic can be improved and mobility in the city. The way that I would approach that, this is a huge problem. It's a huge problem that everybody brings to the table. There are 3 top things that you hear over and over again when you knock on doors: traffic, infrastructure, and zoning. Those are the 3. So what do you do when you become the leader of the city? And leadership is what this is really about. We have the information. We take that mobility study and we have a working group with those suggestions. And we do pilots with resident involvement. Thank you very much. This is something that affects all of us as we go about our daily lives. Understand what of those suggestions are able to be implemented, able to be absorbed, and we try them. There's very simple ones, and see what works. And we do it quickly. We don't study it again. We now have another study going on about trucks. So if you're going to study it, the reason you're studying it is to solve the problem and act on it with resident involvement.
All right. Why did the city pay for a traffic study in 2012 and not engage any of the findings of that study, one-way streets, synchronization of traffic lights, etc.? What was the purpose of that expenditure if there was no resulting outcome? What plans do you have for future traffic and parking relief in our city?
Sure. First, the city didn't pay for a traffic study. It's a mobility study done and paid for by the Florida Department of Transportation, given to us. Hearings were held. Public was invited. Why did they do that? Because the streets that matter to us most are King Street, San Marco, Avenida Menendez, Anastasia Boulevard. They're all owned, and the bridge from one end to another, all owned by the state of Florida. We can't touch it without their permission. Now, do we like the findings? Absolutely. And did we send letters of support to DOT, especially about the roundabout, like there at Main Street and San Marco? We sent a letter of support. I signed it myself. Give us a roundabout. Now, is the state going to respond? I don't know. I don't think so. But what I do know is that the timeline for that is they got to design it, they've got to approve the funding, they got to phase in the construction, and then when they're done, we get to drive on it. But it's working with Tallahassee, and you got to have some experience to do that. Newbies can't do it. Now, I am working with the Coast Guard and the DOT. First time they've talked about the bridge and adding curfew hours in the weekend. We had a wonderful meeting for a governmental agency. They're doing a study now because they got to count cars. Because every minute of delay is 60 cars, 30 each way. So that is our biggest traffic snarl, is the Bridge of Lives. It's been that way since I was in high school. Thank God Milano Beach is a big one now, not the little one. So you just can't snap your fingers and do things on roads that belong to the state. But you got to have a good relationship with the DOT. And I think we've got one. We're moving forward because money is being appropriated. We have money for King Street, and the merchant said, listen, hold off till after 2015. And we did, because they've just been through the bad economy, just been through Mallory Street renovation. They didn't want to do all the way down King. But you'll notice even Mallory Street, no flooding.